So, Ali, we've discussed why we do root canal instrumentation. Can you tell me a little bit about what are some of the options for doing it?
Well, there are lots and lots of options nowadays, and the number is growing by the minute, it seems like it. The last count, I think we were about 30 different instrumentation systems out on the market in North America, at least. And so there are many, many options, and obviously it's beyond the scope of this course to go into each one of them. But I think what we should do is we should consider some of the specifics that are commonalities as well as the differences among them that are conceptual in terms of instrument design, the metallurgy, the motion that each use, as well as whether they are hand or rotary instruments. Obviously, at its most basic form, hand instrumentation versus engine-driven is one way we delineate and we differentiate all these different instrumentation systems. Most of the new systems out there now, especially using the metallurgy of nickel titanium, are rotary driven, and that has to do everything with the specific ability, the nickel titanium and its quality of superior elasticity, so that it could be applied to a power driven handpiece, and that facilitates both the efficiency as well as the efficacy of instrumentation for root canals of different sizes. So that's really the key thing. Stainless steel is stronger, but NiTi is more flexible. And so, in my opinion, combining the two, as we will talk about in our system, would make a lot more sense to improve both the efficiency as well as safety of your system. Designs are also vary between different systems. There are design differences between tips, the taper, the cross-section, the flutes, pitch, helical angles, a whole bunch of different design features in a instrument make a difference about how it cuts, and it gives it its own personal flavor and its unique characteristic. And one of the things I always recommend to the audience is to try different systems and see, because each one of these files have its own characteristic. And the key is to find out which one of those matches your personal character, if you will. Right. And so that would be a match made in heaven, and that's the one you're going to end up using. But another recent change among the differentiation factor between different file systems is the motion that they use. Right. Traditionally, obviously with the hand instruments, we always had this different types of quarter turn pull, push pull, these different kind of motions, which we will go into in a little while. But for the NiTis, primarily we had the rotary motion, which was a 360-degree rotation. And more recently, we now have this idea of reciprocation, which is various types of degree of going clockwise and counterclockwise. And we'll talk about those as well as some of the advantages and disadvantages of those things. And then lastly, each system has its own particular protocol, and those protocols is what makes a difference between those specific systems. So why don't we come back in a second and talk a little bit about the file design, specifically how they matter with the different systems that are out there.
Sure. Okay.